Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about CBD for coronavirus. Now there's a lot of controversial information out there. There's actually a few CBD companies that claim that their CBD would help cure coronavirus, which is obviously incorrect. But there are new studies that are coming out that are saying that CBD does have the potential to promote lung or to help lung inflammatory um, issues when it comes to coronavirus and coronavirus treatment. So it's definitely interesting information. This is an article from Forbes from Emily Erlenbaugh. We've actually read an article from her a couple days ago, so we'll see what she has to say today. Now, this came out July 15th, so this is a couple days ago or a week ago. I don't know what day it is, whatever. But let's go over it together. CBD for coronavirus. New study adds evidence for cannabis as COVID-19 treatment. All right, so as we continue to see outbreaks of the novel coronavirus surging, many are waiting and hoping for treatments to be developed that might treat, cure, or prevent the potentially deadly disease. In a surprising turn of events, cannabis is on the list of potential treatments. While researchers are exploring many different possibilities in combating COVID-19, some researchers are looking into whether cannabis or cannabis-derived CBD might offer benefits for those suffering from severe forms of this infection. Interestingly, there have been several different ways researchers have suggested CBD might help, including its ability to reduce ACE2 expression and pro-inflammatory cytokine production to fight lung inflammation and its potential as an antiviral. But few studies have tested these theories with actual experimentation. Now, new evidence is adding support to the theory that cannabis-derived CBD may help those suffering from the severe lung inflammation that occurs in more serious cases of COVID-19. The study from researchers at Augusta University in Georgia suggests that CBD may positively infect ARDS, or acute respiratory distress syndrome, a dangerous symptom in COVID-19 caused by overactive inflammatory response. This is sometimes referred to as a cytokine storm. The authors of the study explain that currently, other than supportive measures, there's no definitive cure for ARDS, illustrating the urgent need for creative and effective therapeutic modalities to treat this complex condition. So yeah, it would make sense that CBD is a very widely used for anti-inflammatory responses. So it would make sense that I would think a little bit higher of a dose that they would be able to achieve help for these serious cases of COVID-19. So this is definitely a very interesting information. All right, so let's continue. But CBD may be able to help treat this dangerous symptom of COVID-19. The researchers suggest CBD may be able to help reduce pro-inflammatory cytokine production, fighting off the storm. By reducing specific cytokines, we may be able to bring down the inflammation and thus end the respiratory distress and damage. And the results of these researchers' experiments supported this theory. The research itself was performed on mice who were first given a treatment to artificially induce ARDS with symptoms similar to what they've seen in severe COVID-19 patients. This created a cytokine storm, reduced the blood oxygen saturation by 10%, and even produced structural damage to the lungs in mice subjects. Then, after the mice were experiencing the cytokine storm and coinciding respiratory distress, they were given CBD. And the results show that just how powerful CBD can be when treating ARDS. These symptoms were totally or partially reversed and returned to the levels and conditions of normal after treatment with CBD, the authors report, which is quite amazing. I mean, this isn't a study done on humans, so I mean, obviously there's going to be some differences, but we usually study on mice first anyway. So this is very good information, and hopefully this will lead to more clinical trials for this, because Coronavirus is already a very controversial topic. You can't say certain things about it. You can't say certain medicines treat it. So hopefully with this study, they will promote more studies in the future. In particular, mice treated with CBD saw a reduction expression of IL-6, an important marker for cytokine storms, lowered the levels of other pro-inflammatory cytokines. While the IC spiked inflammatory markers, CBD treatment reversed all of these inflammatory indices and particularly reestablished homeostasis. The author explains the mice treated with CBD also had increases in lymphocyte levels in their blood, which are important white blood cells for fighting off infections. So that's even more good news, that CBD is increasing white blood cells, because those fight off infections, and we definitely need lots and lots of those. Researchers on the study say that CBD could play an immunotherapeutic role in treating severe respiratory viral infections like COVID-19, based on the present findings. Quote, the current data support the notion that the anti-inflammatory function of CBD may reduce cytokine storm and mitigate the effects of exaggerated inflammation, end quote. They explain. They add that considering all potential regulatory effects of CBD, as well as the vast distribution of endocannabinoid system in the body, it is plausible that CBD may be used as a therapeutic candidate in the treatment of various inflammatory conditions, including COVID-19 and other virus-induced ARDS. All right, fantastic. Now, of course, this is an early study and more research needs to be done, particularly more research that tests this theory on actual human subjects with COVID-19 related ARDS. The author points out that obviously more studies are required to expand and validate this therapeutic strategy. While we may have to wait for more research before this is being used as an active treatment for COVID-19, this study gives us a good reason to hope that CBD might eventually be harnessed to help fight ARDS. It also adds to the chorus of researchers and cannabis advocates suggesting that we look further into cannabis and its potential fight to fight this deadly disease. All right, so fantastic. So they're basically talking about people like me, cannabis advocates, researchers. I'm a researcher. I'm not a licensed researcher, but I definitely do my fair share of research. There's plenty of studies coming out, especially this year, proving a lot of the effects that CBD has on certain conditions, especially anti-inflammatory, antioxidants. So this is definitely good stuff. Like I said before, hopefully this turns into a human trial so that we can kind of curb at least some of the symptoms for COVID-19. I think that would be great for not only the people who have COVID-19, but for the future of CBD in and of itself. Because imagine if CBD, it ends up being proven that CBD does help fight ARDS. That would mean a lot more funding, a lot more clinical trials, a lot more. Basically, people will take CBD a lot more seriously, which will be good for everyone, because everyone's always looking for an alternative, natural, for prescription drugs. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to really talk about today. I know coronavirus is a bit of a touchy subject, especially on the internet, but I wanted to go over this article because this seems like some good information that I want to pass on to everyone. But if you like the video, or if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section below. Also, if you want to learn more about CBD, I do have a free ebook down in the description, so definitely check that out. It definitely goes over what CBD is, the origin of CBD, how to use it, and how to choose the right brand. Because I always talk about third-party lab tests. Those are a must. But there's a bunch of different other factors too that goes into a good CBD brand, and you definitely want that information. So definitely go down in the description and download that free ebook. But if you like the video, definitely like, subscribe. Like I said, I'm doing daily uploads, so definitely check out the video tomorrow. But you guys have a wonderful day. Bye now.